Hi, my name is Joshua Brandis, and today I will be talking to you about how to turn a fraction into a decimal into percent, a percent into a decimal, and a decimal into a fraction. To start off, we will turn a fraction into a decimal. To turn a fraction into a decimal, you have to divide. You have to divide your numerator by your denominator. For our example, we will use 1/4. Since we have to divide our numerator by our denominator, we will have to divide 1 divided by 4. Okay. 4 goes into 1 0 times. We put a decimal and add a 0. 4 goes into 10 twice, so we put a 2 up here. Then we multiply 4 and 2, and that equals 8. Next, we have to subtract 8 from 10, and that gives us 2. 4 goes into 2 0 times. Since it can't go in, we add another 0 and bring it down. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 4 times 5 equals 20. And 20 minus 20 equals 0. So that means we have no remainder. And 1/4 equals 0. In a decimal is 0.25. Now that we know that 1/4 is equal to 0.25, we will turn 0.25 into a percent. To get from a decimal to a percent, you have to multiply your decimal by 100. 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 1 is 5. Now we add our 0 as our placeholder, and 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, and 2 times 1 is 2. Now we add these together, and that equals 2,500. Although that doesn't make sense, how can 0.25 be equal to 2,500%? That's because we have to count how many numbers are to the right of the decimal place. 1, 2. And that's how many times we move our decimal over. 1, 2. So 0.25 is equal to 25%. Now that we know that 0.25 is equal to 25%, now we will make a percent back into a decimal. This is almost the same, but we are doing the exact opposite of the first two steps. So for a percent to a decimal, we have to divide by 100 instead. Instead of having to go through all the division steps, we can just do the simple way. Our decimal is at the end of our number, so we have to count the amount of zeros in the 100, and there's 2. So that's how many places we're going to move our decimal. 1, 2. And we add our 0. Oh look, when we divide by 100, we get 0.25 again. So for 25%, it is equal back to 0.25. Now, we will turn our decimal, 0.25, back into a fraction. Now, this might seem a little weird, but now we are going to have to multiply by 100. Or in the fraction, our denominator will be 100. So 25 times 100. Well, we can do the same thing as division. Our decimal is at the end, and there are 2 zeros in 100. Or sorry, it's at the beginning, and there are 2 zeros in 100. So we multiply and move the decimal 2 times. 1, 2. Now it is back to 25. And since in our process our denominator is already 100, we have our numerator. It's 25 over 100. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something new.